Central Arkansas football, known for its purple and gray striped turf, but also the breeding ground for defensive ends in the National Football League. Since the 2007 NFL Draft, the Bears have seen Jacob Ford, drafted by the Tennessee Titans, Larry Hart, selected in the 5th round of the 2010 draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Markel Carter, picked by the New England Patriots in 2011. With the 2016 NFL Draft set for April 28th, all eyes are on Jonathan Woodard as he continues the trend of making Central Arkansas defensive end university in the Southland Conference. Having won the 2012 Southland Conference Freshman of the Year and the 2014 Defensive Player of the Year, the past 4 seasons in purple and gray have flown by for the kid from Brentwood, Tennessee, who up until his final 2 years of high school did not know if college football was in his future.
More so towards the end of my high school career. I think I didn't really know I really wanted to play until I think the summer of my junior year, going into my senior year, and I thought about it, and I just thought in my head, I can't picture myself the next 4 years of my life without football in it.
My first impressions, I had a lot of work to do. It turned out I didn't have much work to do. He had a lot of work to do. Found out pretty quick, that he was a quiet guy. He kind of kept to himself a little bit, but was a guy that would really work hard. Would do everything you asked him to do and try to do it exactly how you asked him to do it.
When I first got here, January 2014, he's probably around 255. The first spring and summer, he put on about 10 to 15 pounds. I came from Mississippi State. He looked just like some of the guys that I coached when I was there. So I was very, very surprised. You could tell he was on a mission.
The path that Woodard would take from Tennessee to Central Arkansas was uncharacteristic. Faced with limited opportunities for him to play college football, the Central Arkansas coaching staff took an athlete with limited football experience, but a level of dedication that would see him rise among the ranks as one of the best players in Bears history.
The stress started in the summer between his junior and senior year. That's when Jonathan made the decision that he wanted to play football in college. And we were like, seriously? Because he really hadn't attended any camps. He had not, we didn't film him, do any of that stuff. And since he started so late, most of the colleges were in their football season and did not look at him or start to seriously consider him until after their season.
Jonathan was a situation where we ended up recruiting him late. We had some other guys on our board we didn't know about Jonathan. I got an email about him, and it was, here's a big, long kid, and didn't have anything really going on, recruiting a lot of smaller schools. Tall but undersized weight-wise. And we, at the time, we felt like we were kind of taking a chance on him. It wasn't a no-brainer. Everybody comes in now and thinks, man, why would you not take that guy? Well, there was a lot of people that didn't take that guy. And I think early on, Jonathan felt like that I had done him a favor getting him here. I recruited him and I brought him here, and his other options, this football-wise, this was a better option than what else he had. So I think that he was very thankful early on, felt like that I had done a lot for him.
He's had the biggest impact. That's probably putting it lightly. When I came here, I had a little football knowledge, but I was lacking in a lot of areas and a lot of technique and just knowledge of the game. And he's brought me off a long way. He's brought me a long way in those aspects. And he's taught me a lot of moves, just technique, things that I wouldn't have learned if it not for him. So a lot of my success is due to him.
I'm still pinching myself because, it's surreal. To watch him play and to look at where he started, looking back at his high school career, it's amazing how much he has embraced the sport of football.
With the accolades mounting each year, Woodard was no longer under the radar of Division I programs. Various levels of recognition did not distract Jonathan as his confidence grew in his football abilities.
He came in and redshirted. And even that redshirt year, he and I had a discussion about maybe playing as a freshman. We had some injuries early on, and we decided not to do that. And in that spring, I thought, this kid's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player. About halfway through his redshirt freshman year, that season, I knew he was pretty special. I didn't know he'd be an NFL guy or anything like that, but I knew he was pretty special.
maybe probably the next year of playing before I really started to think I could really have a future doing this, because I wasn't sure if that was just a one-year thing, and I just had to sort of keep building that confidence for myself.
His character is his best strength. You know, he attacks every day. You know, he doesn't take anything for granted. He comes in, he's usually the first or second person in here, getting some extra work in, you know, stays after to get some extra work in. So
it's definitely something that I take pride in, because it shows how hard I've worked up until that point. But it was definitely a big milestone in my life, because I proved to myself that I could actually do that.
Fans around Central Arkansas knew during the 2015 offseason that this would be the final season for number 90. What they did not realize was Woodard decided to change his number due to a sudden loss of his best friend, Payne Shanafelt.
I just said, okay. I mean, he told me pretty early, but I didn't tell anyone. I just held on to it until he was ready to talk to Payne's parents. And once it was clear, then that's when he talked with the Shanafelts.
It was pretty hard for me. I mean, I've never lost anybody that close to me before. And before the season, I was pretty rough. But it was just hard because he was so close to me. I mean, he was one of the first ones to go to all my early games. My first game versus Ole Miss, he was there, supported me in the stands. I remember seeing him before the game, talking to him and his dad, and just seeing him in the stands. That meant a lot to me. So it definitely was the reason I changed my number to number 3. That was the number he wore in high school. And I definitely want to just honor him, honor his family, because they all mean a lot to me.
It was Jonathan and Payne, they had a special relationship in that when Jonathan would come home in May, he was one of the first guys of his group of friends to come home because UCA let out early, and Payne was working and at home, so he had someone to work out with, someone to lift with. I mean, it was neat, someone to, you know, just run, throw the football around with, and that was a really, really neat bond that they had. You know, that's a big void for him, especially, you know, this past May was the first time that he came home and, you know, Payne was not there.
But through tragedy, Woodard found a new supporter through 8-year-old Jet Blaylock and the power that sports can have on today's youth.
So tell me why Jonathan's your favorite player.
Because he's nice to me, he lets me wear his helmet, and he gets great sacks.
It means a lot. It's kind of crazy. I didn't think I would have fans like that. It's just kind of a surreal feeling, just coming from basically like a no-star recruit to what I am now. It's pretty humbling, but I definitely means a lot to me. I love Jet. I always love to see him before and after the game. It's something I always look forward to, and I hadn't really expected that to come, and it's just really humbling to see that kind of flourishing now.
With his playing days at Central Arkansas over, Woodard moves on to the next chapter, preparing for the NFL draft. The determination and values that brought him to Conway, Arkansas will continue as he showcases that a tall, lanky kid from Brentwood, Tennessee can make it into the National Football League.
I would love to see him putting on another jersey in 2016. The work he has put in so far, I don't see why not.
I thought that he was a special person, and you find the longer you do this that special people usually turn out to be pretty good players. Now, he was blessed athletically more than what I believed he was at the time, but what he's become is really a compliment to his hard work more than anything that he was blessed with or anything like that.
The reason why we do what we do with coaching is to see our athletes succeed. And so having the ability to see those guys live out their dreams is phenomenal. To see them work for it, to put themselves in a situation where they can be successful.
I mean, it means a lot. It would definitely inspire other kids to let them know that kids from a small school or just from not the best high school circumstance that they can make it. Because I know if you would have told me coming out of high school, or even probably my freshman year, or even after winning freshman of the year, told me I would make it to this point, I probably wouldn't have believed them. I would have doubted them. But I just want any kid out there to know that they can do it. They can make it.
Jonathan Woodard.